What's up, YouTube? How's it going? What it do? What it do? I'm here to do a read today for the collective, just to check in with everybody, see how we're doing. Do a message just for what needs to be heard based off what is on our mind, what is our reality, what are our energies right now. What would be helpful and healthy for our auras. Hopefully to raise the vibration and to bring clarity and fellowship and just have a good time communing over the tube. All right, so I'm gonna be using Maji got the T's, the chosen ones, 144 Oracle deck, as well as this New Orleans tarot deck made by Sally Ann Glassman and Louise Martinet. All right, so let's get into the vibes. Got some sage. There's a space. Cover your ear. So, all right. And let's make it do what it do. I'm interested to see what will come out today. I'm grateful for another day to be with everyone. 111 on the clock. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So let's see. I picked up the Oracle deck first, so let's see what we got going on. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on, baby. Okay. Interesting. All these cards start with T. I'm just popping in my mind for some reason. Maybe the letter T is significant. Maybe somebody whose name starts with the letter T, first, middle, last name is significant. And even this one has a T in it. So the back of the card, back of the deck energy is spend time alone, the Hermit card. Hermit is the Virgo zodiac sign. Ooh. So shout out to all the Virgos, all the earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Just, maybe a Virgo. Anyone who knows Virgos knows that Virgos are super cool. They are they seem to be just the ish all the time. And they really put the work in for it too. They will spend time alone, make sure they got their stuff in order, make sure when they present themselves, baby, what I'm saying, they is top notch when they present themselves. And I like that a lot about Virgos. I don't have any Virgo in my natal chart. I got a lot of Earth in my chart, but no Virgo. Shout out to the Capricorns, baby. So the first card out is Third Eye is Awakening. Second card is Trauma. And third card is Time to Shine. So all these start with T. Third Eye is Awakening, Trauma, Time to Shine. So I'm really thinking maybe T is a significant letter in this. So let's talk about it. I am going to pull one of these beautiful African-based cards. I love them. Very cool. But we're gonna kind of get into this vibe here now for a bit. So what are we thinking? What are we feeling here? Keeping on with your hard work. I know a lot of you are working hard. You might not be very familiar with me, but as a Capricorn rising, with heavy Capricorn in my chart, I really relate to that drive of we must work towards achieving something. We have to, we have to know that we're working towards something in our lives in order to have peace. Something has to be going on, in progress and productivity. Third Eye is Awakening. Maybe I'm hearing you're seeing things about people that maybe you haven't seen before. Trust your intuition. That friend, that's always been a friend with 414 o'clock. And I can relate to this as being a part of the collective as well. Those friends that maybe we've always had in our lives, those friends that we've always supported, right? We're kind of seeing that maybe that friend isn't so much of a friend. Maybe it was more so of, you were a giver and they were a taker, and that was okay because, they were cool with receiving a lot and being kind of needy or whatever. And you were cool with being like the provider, protector type. So it kind of worked out. It kind of balanced out, right? But maybe you're seeing now that, hey, maybe that balance isn't equal. That balance isn't, working for you, isn't healthy for you. It just, it isn't the vibe like it used to be. Maybe you're like, hey, you want a birthday gift too. Or like, hey, do you want somebody to call you and check on you too? Or hey, somebody come visit you. Like I'm saying, you can come near me and go visit, a booty call, but you can't come when you come near me, you can't come say hi, what's up, see me, but I'll go travel to you, type of friendship, So, yeah. So third eye is awakening. Also, also hearing meditation. I'm hearing practice. For some reason I'm seeing like oil putting. So maybe somebody's putting like that third eye oil to help them with their psychic awareness. I'm hearing that. Trust that. Yes, you are hearing people's thoughts. You are hearing people's minds, and that's something that can be really weird, right? And one thing I have to really accept is that people are entitled to their thoughts and emotions. Once we get to the point where we are really clear that we know that we're aware of what's going on in people's noggins, we can't really argue with them or really that thing you're thinking in your head, let's talk about it. We have to understand there is a boundary. So as psychics, we have to understand there is a boundary, and this can be really tough, right? But we have to understand that people are entitled to their thoughts. People are entitled to their emotions. Man, especially, your basic human isn't really aware that their thoughts are actually really loud. They're not aware that their thoughts come out of their head. They think everything they're thinking in their head just stay in their head. Not realizing that, no, like, what people think in their head is all around them. They don't understand that, and there's no way to get them to understand that, right? So we can't, so if you're like me, sometimes I kind of want to be like, address the thought people are having in their minds. And it's kind of like, even if even when we were right, or even if they can understand that, yes, we actually did, hear what they were thinking, felt what they were thinking, saw what they were thinking, that, how can they really go back and forth with us on that? Is it really effective? Sometimes it can be, but just understand that, it's just a reminder to us that people are entitled to their thoughts and their emotions. So if you have the ability to tap into those energies, we kind of just, we understand it's just part of our third eyes being on blast, we're scoping the scene, knowing, what's all up in between, but we got to give people that boundary. Trauma, a lot of us are healing from traumas. A lot of these traumas are influencing how we influence our lives now, and what we have to do for self-care, what we're having to do to be on our top-notch business level. We all want to be our best business selves, be our best selves overall, and a lot of that is having to deal with those emotions related to the traumas that we've experienced throughout our lifetimes, going all the way back to the womb. You know what I'm saying? So those traumas that we may have experienced, let's say you were being carried by a mother who was battling depression and suicide, and you were inside her body while she was dealing with those demons and those challenges. And then you were born, and then you had, maybe you were violated and abused, and you were in a traumatic environment, and maybe you had an absent father or absent mother, or you had an abusive parent, or abusive family member, or people around you used to ostracize you. Many of us, as chosen ones, we've had that experience, right, where people all our lives pretty much have always kind of tried to single us out. We always stood out, and because we always stood out, they wanted to single us out. They wanted to, make us feel like we were weird because it made them feel better. And even as an adults, we see how these adult people around, these adult humans, continue to behave in these childish manners, where they're the same kids who used to ostracize, try to bully, try to pick on us because we were stood up, we were different, we were not like the rest. And a lot of times we had really cool things going on about us, and of course we could have been very awkward. If you're like me, I was pretty awkward growing up. Just looked awkward, acted awkward, and then I went through that ugly duckling thing, and then I reached puberty, and has been running from people ever since. You know what I'm saying? But was not that way before. Which also was a traumatic experience. It taught me really a lot about humans, because it's like the same people used to pick on me when I was growing up became this very same people who were seeking me, were trying to, holler at me, trying to, be all up in my business and, all this type of stuff. I was like, wait a minute, just because I look different, but I'm the very same person. All of a sudden, you feel so much different about me. All of a sudden, you want to be friendly towards me and stuff. But I'm the very same person, I was back when you touched me. You used to go ill. Now you're trying to touch all type of parts. You know what I'm saying? But back then, if I would just bump into them on accident, you know what I'm saying? Or they would intentionally bump into me, and they go ill. My little feelings. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those traumas that we experience. Also, big thing coming up for those of us who are of ethnicities. The trauma of racism is a huge thing that we have to cope with, that influences our lives. I encourage you to keep your head up. Know your ranking. Know that you are top tier. And anybody come ask me, I know that my people might not like it. I'm not here to rub everybody the right way. You know what I'm saying? I know my ranking, and you ask me my ranking is top tier. And if you look like me, baby, your ranking is top tier. I'm gonna leave it at that. So as far as the racism and stuff goes, understand that's the insecurity, the jealousy, the wanting to be better than us that they will never ever be, and never ever have been. Okay, let's go into the next one. A Time to Shine, one of my favorite cards. Coming from Maji, got the T's. The Chosen Ones 144 Oracle deck. Check her out on YouTube. She is like, a YouTube star. Many of us are very familiar with her. So check out Maji, got the T's. Time to Shine. Check out. What I'm also getting is when we see those lights and stuff around us, know those are our angels, our ancestors that are present with us. A lot of times I see like these little orb things. I see them a lot. I would love to see actually full-figure angels like this, I don't particularly see a lot of those in my day-to-day life, but I see a whole bunch of all the time, all these orbs and lights and things. I see them all the time. It's all the way around. And when I look up in the sky, I see like the sky looks like a billion of these little lights all in the sky. So a lot of us are clairvoyant. We see energies, things of that nature. Time to shine. So a lot of us, there's this glow up that's going on that's painful as fuck. This painful as fuck glow up type of energy has kind of been going on for a lot of us in the collective, where, I suppose that, to others, they see that we're surviving, we're thriving, not only surviving, but thriving, and that we have accomplished a level of getting out of the mud, getting out of, disaster and trial and tribulation to an extent where, to a lot of people, it appears like a glow up. To us, we might feel like we're about to lay out because we didn't been through so much shit. We didn't work so hard to try to get our shit together. You know what I'm saying? We've always been the type, if you like me, for a lot of us in collective, we've always been the type to get our shit together. But because of us being chosen ones, because of the power and the destiny and the purpose that we have, we've always had to continue to fight and strive, even after we've put in more than enough work. Even after we've accomplished so much, there's always something else for us to have to do. And I believe this is our time to shine. We have to believe in this, right? We have to. Now, I really want to talk about that because it's easy to say believe in something. Believe in is that it's time to shine. But I'll be honest with you, I know it's not easy. It's so difficult to truly believe, subconscious, to have that belief. Like, we know that there's gravity, right? We know that once I pick this card up and let it go, it's going to hit the table. We know that. I believe that. What I want to believe also is that it is my time to shine. I have this thing where I feel like, it's something good happening. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. I'm afraid something bad is going to come and take it away. I'd be afraid that, am I good enough? Am I going to be able to keep it? Is it going to come? Or, am I actually going to shine? Or am I actually shining right now? Or is this some like delusional thing that I keep telling myself and people? I'll be honest with you. But I know in my heart of hearts that I do believe that, my time, our time to shine is destined for us. And I love to see these messages saying that, hey, this is our time to shine. And I want it to be evident. And that's my prayer so often to God, for me to be able to believe and see and receive. Well, I believe, no, let me see it. No, let me receive it. Like the commercial, it's my money and I want it now. You know? I'm saying God is my blessing and I want it now. You know, God is, you know, I want to be grateful. We don't want to rush spirit, you know. But when I see these messages of like, it's time to shine, I'm like, okay, God, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get it. Make it feel good, God. You know what I'm saying? Make it happy, God. Things like that. But it's time to shine, so let's believe that. So spending time alone, I know a lot of us, we do spend a lot of time alone. I'm a major introvert. I have extroverted tendencies, so I do like to get out and go do things. And I can be really social. Some people, when I tell them I'm an introvert, they have to be like, what? I would never guessed it. And I tell them it's batteries. I got batteries. I charge some batteries up inside of me. I got batteries in there. I charge them batteries up. And I can go out and be amongst people in society and it'd be all good. You know, I can handle it, you know. But once them batteries start getting low, baby, it's time for me to go. Time for me to get home. Time for me to get home because, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see a different side of that Capricorn. Come on, Capricorns, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? When that Capricorn needs to get the fuck home, that Capricorn needs to get home. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to talk to the dark side of Capricorn. You really don't. Or anybody, you don't want to talk to that dark side. When they, you know, they're introverts, it's time to get home. It's time to get home. And I know we evolve in the isolation. We evolve through our time spent alone. But I do hope that, you know, for some, if you're like me, it's been years and years where I've been like alone on end. Like, for years, man, like nobody comes over, visits, nobody goes out. There's no going to coffee. There's no going to TGI Fridays or Applebee's. There's no going out to clubs. There's no going to hangouts or house parties and things that I actually kind of like to do. Maybe you'll like it too, but it hasn't been the case for years. And I know that that's because there's been this transformation occurring. There are doors opening right now for sure. Ooh, 8 of Swords. Let's talk. Now this New Orleans deck does not have exact Rider-Waite translations. So like the 8 of Swords in your typical tarot would be like mental imprisonment. Like, you know, we're keeping ourselves inside, but we really could just walk out. You know what I'm saying? It's not that the world is keeping us from experiencing greatness. It's because we're keeping ourselves from experiencing these things, you know, that we want to experience. Like I was talking about, like going out with friends and meeting new people and, you know, things of that nature. Let's see what the breakdown of it is. 8 of Swords. Magic used. Possible over application of force. 4, in contrast, a petty end. Complex means used when more simple would suffice. Unstable result. Effects gained through magic tend to lack temporal persistence. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're making things a little bit more difficult than it has to be. So it's kind of very similar to the Rider-Waite translation and with this card. So that's what I'm getting, like, for a lot of this stuff, yes, it may be difficult. Yes, there is an aspect of challenge with it that's not to be diminished. You know, that is valid. You know what I'm saying? We are right in that there is this turbulence with it, this discomfort with it. You know, there's an aspect of challenge. But we don't have to be in the house on end. You know, like say it's the weekend. We don't have to be in the house from Friday when we get home to Monday morning. Every weekend. You know, or you'll be like, you know, if you like, sometimes I be dreading going out. I'll be like, man, you know, so trying to time which part of the day I'm gonna go and, you know, which route I'm gonna take, because I don't want to be around people. You know, we don't have to do all that. Are we going to stop doing that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to do that all the time. We don't have to have such a dread for it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, instead of just feeling so like, oh, I don't want to do it and try to complicate it so much, just get your clothes on, brush your teeth, wash your face, and walk out the door. And just go do it. Or if there's a party or something going on, just go. You know? Maybe that's a good sign for us. You know, don't overcomplicate it. If you want to go on that date, just do it. And I've been doing that too. Like, people I've been like, I'm not quite sure if I really want to get involved with this person or get this, you know, feel this person out. And in the past, I would kind of maybe be like, I'll pass on it. And, you know, I've been telling myself, nah, bro. Get yourself up and go take care of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, get up and go. And when you think about when you get back. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm like, I keep like isolating myself from other people, and then I'll be like, oh shit, you know, I'm tired of being always by myself. Like, shit, I need to go out with somebody sometime, do something. You know? But now I've been like, nah, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Come back and think about it later. You know? We got the Page of Cups, Congo. Congo is a water card. You know, of course, the cups, waters, that's emotion, page. Let's see what we're talking about here. Page of Cups. I'm reaching for my glasses. I'm used to having glasses on, and I still be doing things like this, pushing my glasses up, and just now try to pull them up. Wait a minute, so I see the ace. It goes all the way up to 10, and then the king. The fuck? So this is actually called the Princess of Cups in this deck. And it says the character of the person identified with this card is dreamy and sweet. She is the great romantic. Physically, she is a young woman with brown or black hair and blue or brown eyes. So like I was just saying in the flow of my conversation about when I've had these romantic, you know, encounters or romantic, you know, call it a date or whatever. And I've been telling myself, you know, part of the collective, I refer to myself because it's being part of the collective, you know what I'm saying, just to, you know, share, and to relate. So this is confirmation. So when we meet this dreamy, and I'm also getting that people are perceiving us as dreamy. The people are perceiving us as having like this romantic, dreamy quality to ourselves. Our aura kind of just feels sweet and dreamy to a lot of people. And you know, I don't really like people thinking I'm that sweet and stuff, or you know what I'm saying, or I'm not a nice guy. I tell people all the time I'm really not nice. But anyways, just as a man, I really don't really like that a lot. But people are feeling us as being like this dreamy individual. We have this dreamy quality to ourselves. Like I'm hearing like they like to look into our eyes and stuff like that, you know, and they feel like, you know, they get feelings when they do that. And people feel things when they get around us. And we know this, you know, people start to feel shit when they get around us. And so part of that is like the romance. And so in this romance, you know, I'm hearing that, you know, like I was just saying, when the romantic opportunities come along, be safe and go for it. If you are like a lot of us in the collective and you stay isolated at home because, you know, you kind of just rather not, but then you be home for so long, for years and stuff, man, you be like, God damn, I gotta go be around somebody, do something, sometime. So when, you know, these romantic opportunities come along, you know, even if it's just kind of like FaceTime somebody, you know, set a date and time to go do something and actually go do it. Be like, hey, you want to, you know, let's go get a sandwich, you know, coffee, or people still go to the movies, you know, just Netflix and chill stuff, you know, Go out and do it though. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, be safe, but go do it. You may not want to go do it, but just think about it when you get home. You know, if you like me, kind of like, I don't, you exchanging energies with people and stuff. Go home, come home, go home, do your spiritual bath. Do some, as priestess I love, priestess Aset says, Shama Lama Ding Dong, which is like her spiritual craft work, which, doing your candles and doing your cord cuttings and stuff like that. Whatever spiritual practice, you know what I'm saying? So come home and cleanse yourself, protect yourself. But go get that. So then we have the Allegro card, which is the Six of Pentacles, Earth card. Let's go see what this is. This card has divination of proper care in the matter at hand ensures favorable outcome. The influence of a child or childlike person. Interesting. So I was just saying, like, it says proper care in the situations that we find ourselves will bring about favorable outcomes. So yeah, how that it needs this door. There's a door open. See this woman? This is a Legba card. Legba is the door opener. So you see this figure here opening this door. So the door is opening for opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Be safe and go get that. You know what I'm saying? When I say when the romantic encounter, and the book just went right in my manhood. When the romantic opportunity come along, take proper care, go get that, and it's gonna bring about a favorable outcome. Have this about yourself where you are. It's 4:14 p.m. right now. Whoop whoop. Where I am is 4:14 p.m. So this door is opening, and as long as we do what we're supposed to do, take proper care of everything, there will be a favorable outcome. Have like this curiosity, this optimism. Be faithful and hopeful that there will be something good that comes along for you, and that you will enjoy yourself. That that's what I tell myself. I said, man, you know what? I just have to do little by little, here and there. On a consistent basis, just try to get myself to be more social, get myself to know more people, to talk to more people, so that I'm not spending literally months on end. And, I'm talking to no one. I'm hanging out with no one. For years, it's been that way for me. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I'm in a whole different age bracket and everything since the last time I was really social with people. And my whole morphed and, evolved into a whole nother man. In that time, that was the essential part of it. But it's saying like the doors are opening for opportunity, and it's coming after this romantic card. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like the daughter of romance just came across. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people may be feeling that from us. And maybe you're feeling that, that, you have this romantic air. Aphrodite is coming to mind for some reason. Maybe people feel like with the way Aphrodite makes people feel when they get around us. And I've heard that before too. I've actually had people tell me like, there's some connection between Aphrodite and the collective, ourselves, and just in the magical abilities that we have, and the way we make people feel, and the things we can do to people. So daughter romance is kind of like what's coming to hand here. And then we have the Judgment card for this deck. The Judgment card. So let's see what this is talking about. The Judgment card. This is going to be towards the front of the section. Ooh, my ear is doing a little something, baby. Okay, so this is the Ancestors card. You see it has the Ancestors at the bottom. Ancestors card. It's also considered like the Last Judgment. So the divination for this card is final judgment, an understanding of the worth and meaning of one's actions within the context of the procession of life. So we understand that as life moves forward, we're understanding the role that we play and how life goes forward. And the worth of our actions, understanding that, like I was saying, taking things little by little each day to try to achieve your goals. So as life goes forward, we're understanding, and maybe a lot of us, you're finding yourself right now in a position where you're realizing that, hey, you've got a hand in this. And that no, you're not the type of person who always feel like you're just defeated or a victim. You don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Life is hard as crap, yes, but you're realizing that, hey, you know what I'm saying, if you want something and you haven't been getting it, that, hey, you can do things here and there as life goes on, as the days go on. You can do things to get that which you want. Just realizing that, like, hey, you know, I really go without these things in my life a lot. And sometimes I do want them. Sometimes, you know, I'm okay without having them. But, you know, I realize that, hey, if I do want this experience, this reality, if I want that house, I want them friends, if I want that lover, if I want that money, if I want that swag, if I want, you know, this achievement, if I want that body, if I want whatever it might be, that, hey, there are things that you can do to bring that about for yourself on a daily basis. And life is proceeding, you know, you have a role and you understand that there is worth in it. That, yeah, you know what I'm saying, your steps, your efforts, they do add up, but they are worth a lot. You're realizing that we can do this. So life goes on and continues to move forward. Thank you, Spirit. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that, you know, as we seek to, you know, shine in our true selves and who we truly are, that we do have the ability to change things. We have worth. What we can make it happen for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? The doors are opening for us. You know, to shine, it's time to shine. The doors are opening for us to shine, for us to, you know, a lot of us, we've gone without a relationship. You know, be like, you know, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, you know, if we are interacting with people, it's just these people who kind of come and go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it's not like an actual like relationship type of situation. But it seems like there is like the door of romance happening. You know, keep your mind open to those things. Be willing to try different things. You know what I'm saying? Let's heal from these traumas. You know what I'm saying? And accept the things that you're seeing. You know, and then maybe you're seeing that, yeah, you know what I'm saying, there are these new opportunities coming for you, and that, you know, hey, you know what I'm saying, you might be going out with the love situation or the romance, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that, you know, many people do experience these romantic energies from us. And we know this happens a lot, right? We go places, people, a lot of times, you know, to some extent, throw themselves at us, you know what I'm saying? But it may not be what we want, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's chosen, we get so used to it, people are going to be literally throwing themselves at our feet, and we just kind of step over them like, you know, I don't have time for that. You know, I'm busy. I don't want that. Or, you know, type of situation. But, you know, the ancestors are with us. You know, the spirits are working for us. And we have to realize that, yes, we can change our realities, and we can make all the difference in the world right now to get what we want. The doors are opening for us to take charge, make the change, take the action, and get what we want for ourselves. Because, baby, it's time to shine. And that's the message from me to you and the collective. I love you. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Please comment. And until next time, my friends and family, peace.